Welcome to another edition of the Alan Rosenberg Show. It's early Sunday morning, couldn't sleep. A couple things on my mind, so I figured let me do a video. First, thanks for my subscribers. My channel's growing a little bit. I'm over 400 subscribers, doing this like a year and a half. I really appreciate it, but most importantly, the subscribers, I love the communication. Thank you for writing me, recovering from COVID, and people asking how I'm doing. Man, gives you faith in the world. I really appreciate it, but I love your comments on my videos, good or bad. You know, constructive criticism is always a great thing. If you haven't subscribed, please hit subscribe. You know how it works. The more subscribers I get, if people do searches, then my videos will pop up. So that would be great for me and create a little community, hopefully, if you like my videos. Thanks so much. Going to start with a rant. So a couple of months ago, I applied to try to get Bruce Springsteen tickets. I'm a really big Bruce Springsteen fan. I have all his albums. I got hundreds of bootlegs, seen him a couple times. I'm in Long Island. It's not easy to see Springsteen on the East Coast here. He sells out like instantly. So I know about supply and demand, and I get it. So I sign up for the opportunity to apply for tickets like a couple months later. So I get chosen that I could apply for tickets. They give me a time to log in and a location, and I log in, and sure enough, I get the opportunity to purchase tickets. The tickets are at the top of the arena, one of the worst seats in the house, and they were $900 a piece. $900 a piece for the top level. So I clicked, no thank you, fuck you, I'm not going to do it. Now, Springsteen's getting a lot of, negative publicity for this, and he deserves it, and I'll tell you why. I understand about supply and demand. Rolling Stones tickets are a lot. U2 tickets are a lot. I don't go to them either. But this Springsteen is a difference because, Springsteen never shuts up. I never seen an artist talk more about himself and his philosophies. That's his whole shtick. And I get it. It makes him interesting. He does the Broadway show, 2 hours of him talking about himself. That's what Springsteen does. He writes books. He got a coffee table book out with President Barack Obama about how the inequities of the world and other issues. So I understand about capitalism and supply and demand, but you have placed yourself in a different situation. Roger Waters tickets went on sale. Now, I wouldn't go see Roger Waters for whatever, but I know people who did. The supply and demand, the demand wasn't there, so the tickets were like $55. But the service charges were more than the $55 a ticket. How fucking insane is that? The whole concert system is insane. But if you're Bruce Springsteen and you make your whole career, to this day, never shutting up, talking about yourself, making documentary movies on each one of your albums. I mean, you put yourself out there. Bob Dylan never talks about himself. Mick Jagger never talks about himself. You do. And you discuss the world, and you discuss inequalities, and you write coffee table books. Man, it hurts. And it doesn't make sense because there are artists out there like Garth Brooks and Kid Rock and others who don't play this game. Kid Rock tours, his tickets are $25 anywhere in the show. And and anywhere in the stadium, you know what he says? He says, hey, even at $25, I'm going to make a couple of $1 million. That's fine. I'll make money on t-shirts and soda sales and whatever else. God knows what you make on these tours, Bruce Springsteen. You're a multi-billionaire. You made $600 million last year. A shame on you, and a shame on your silence. Your silence is deafening. You have your manager, John Landau, speak and say, well, it's supply and demand. This is the market value. But you're Bruce Springsteen. Stop talking about inequalities in the world and the working man and all of this when you pull this shit. So I'm not going to go, fuck you. There's my rant. I feel better. Thanks for watching. Now, on a different topic. Last night, on Long Island, I went to see the Gin Blossoms. You remember the Gin Blossoms? They're a really great band. There's a bunch of their albums. Here's an ad. I got their set list. The Gin Blossoms played locally on Long Island at Eisenhower Park for free. They got paid, of course, I'm sure by the town, but I'm sure it's a reasonable amount, and nice to see my tax dollars going somewhere good. So we went to see the Gin Blossoms last night. They were awesome. I've seen them before. It's interesting, they're kind of an interesting band. So here's my history with the Gin Blossoms. Back in around 92 or so, I did another video. You could check it out on, promos and how do I discover new bands. And one of the ones I didn't mention was magazines. Great rock and roll magazines would put out oftentimes CDs of new music. So I still have it. There's a British magazine that's still around, but it's a shadow of what it used to be, called Q Magazine. And they would put out CDs every once in a while of new music by known artists, right there, U2, Sting, Robert Plant, World Party, Squeeze, but also unknown bands. And on this CD, I still kept it. Song number 4 is a thing called Allison Road by the Gin Blossoms. Never heard of them. Their album hadn't been out yet. Played it. I was like, oh my God, what a phenomenal song. Love their sound. It's got like that jangly kind of, what do they sound like? Almost REM-ish, a little bit of Big Star, maybe a little Birdsy but really short, concise, really catchy track, Allison Road. Loved it. Couldn't wait for the album to come out. The album came out eventually, and I bought it. And that album was back in '92, and that was New Miserable Experience. Now, this is the deluxe edition, but this is what it looked like. Remember this album? Here's where record companies come in really good. So here's a little history. They put out an independent album called Dusted in like '89. 3 years later in '92, they released New Miserable Experience. It does nothing. It doesn't chart. It's not getting radio play. A&M Records is the record company. 3 times they pushed this album. They did multiple videos of the first single, Hey Jealousy. They knew it was a hit. But nobody would play it. It wouldn't get any traction. The album was sold like 80,000 is what I had read. And they said, no, this is a really special album. They did another video of Hey Jealousy. God knows they pushed and pushed and pushed, and they got to play it on MTV, and the album became a huge hit, selling over 4 million copies. That's where a record company does its job. Great job, A&M. New Miserable Experience from '92 is one of the all-time great debut albums. Every year I do an Alan Rosenberg Award show. I pick my top 3 most played albums of the year, my best new artists, and they went top 3 their year, and they were my best new artists of the year. Phenomenal record. I think it's a classic debut. I love this album from '92. This is the deluxe edition, which is really cool because they're an interesting band, the Gin Blossoms. They had that independent. This is really their second album, even though it's really their first. Their first album was called Dusted, which was on independent. This second album features tracks from Dusted that didn't make New Miserable Experience. They have a couple of EPs up and coming. Shut Up and Smoke is another one. Those EP tracks are on here. They have cool B-sides on their singles. Those are on here too. This is a really great compilation, as well as their debut album. Their second album came out 4 years later. '96 was Congratulations, I'm Sorry. No sophomore slump for me, man. As long as you follow, not only Numb, this is a killer record as well. Follow You Down, great album. Is it as good as the first one? No, but I would say the first one's a classic. This is just a great album from the Gin Blossoms. Congratulations, I'm Sorry. They did do 2 other albums, which I didn't get. I'm dropping my papers here, but that was in 2006. They did Major Large Victory. And another album, No Chocolate Cake, was about 2010. They're good, but just not great. More of the same. Interesting story with this band. Doug Hopkins was the guitarist and songwriter, but he didn't write all the songs, but he was very involved with a lot of the songwriting, a couple of hits. And he had a alcohol, drug problem, and when they were recording New Miserable Experience, he just couldn't hack it. And he couldn't really play, and he would show up in bad shape, and the band eventually fired him. When this album eventually made it really big, he actually committed suicide, which is really, really sad. But great band. This is ads for the show. This is the set list. Gotta love them. I mean, their songs are like 3 minutes long. So they played, I think there's 17 songs there. They played 90 minutes. 17 songs in 90 minutes. Bum, bum, bum. Great personality, lead singer. Again, his voice is kind of like, reminds me of early REM. Touch of Big Star in there. Great stuff. And it's one of those bands where, I mean, I really like them, as you can see. Here's a bootleg, from an early show between the first 2 albums because they were playing deep cuts that didn't make New Miserable Experience. So, Robin Wilson is a great lead singer. good personality. Follow You Down was a single, but I got it because it's got Idiot Summer, Seeing Stars, unreleased B-sides. It's amazing how many great songs they have for a band that pretty much only is known for 2 albums. This is a greatest hits album called The Best of the Gin Outside Looking In, The Best of the Gin Blossoms. So this is a greatest hits album, fully loaded. How many songs are on this thing? 14 songs, and they're comprised strictly pretty much of the first 2 albums. That's all you really need. But when they play, it's like great song after great song, and they're kind of forgotten. So if you haven't heard the Gin Blossoms in a while, go listen to the New Musical Experience. If you love that album, go check out Congratulations, I'm Sorry. Because, yeah, they're the real deal. They're a great band. They came from Tempe, Arizona, but apparently Robin Wilson kept saying he's a local guy. He lives in Valley Stream. Go figure. Though, why would somebody move from Tempe, Arizona to Long Island? I don't know. But there you go. The Gin Blossoms last night live at Eisenhower Park for free. For free, Bruce Springsteen. At least for free for me. $900 for upper level. God. It's a crazy. Anyway, thank you to the Gin Blossoms for an amazing show. Loved it. Huge crowd. I don't know. The place was packed. It's in a field, and then they set up other fields. They could have been anywhere between 5,000 to 10,000. I know that's a big spread, but there was a ton of people there, and great music on a great Saturday night. Thanks for tuning in. It's the Alan Rosenberg. Please hit subscribe if you haven't. Tell your friends. Help my channel to grow. I would really appreciate it. Write in your comments. I love getting them. I'll always answer you back. Even constructive criticism is a good thing. Got my Tennessee hat on because I came back from Tennessee. Great state. Loved it. Have a great rest of the Sunday, and I'll see you on the next video.